What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to talk about the Battle for Bedford hosted by Bedford County Parks and Rec. This is a tournament that's going to be TD'd by Hunter Thomas, and Paul McBeth and Brody Smith are playing in this event. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this event sort of pans out. So most of the field is under 1,000 rated, and honestly, Paul McBeth's probably just going to sweep the field unless he just doesn't even try. So Paul McBeth's going to win this event, but my next bold prediction is that Brody Smith is going to come in second place. So it's going to be Paul and then Brody, and then I don't know who's going to take third. Most of the field is players that I'm unfamiliar with. It's a smaller tournament. It's a Pro-Am B tier, so none of the touring pros are going to be there for the most part, I believe. And we do have a couple thousand rated guys who might be able to beat Paul for one round, but they won't beat him throughout the entire tournament. So we have Brody Smith in the field, and I think Brody Smith is going to take second place in this event. So I'm really excited to see it, and I'm assuming that Brody will probably film it and put it on his channel, or they'll pay someone to film and then they'll put it on the Foundation Disc Golf channel. So the only thing that I'm not happy about is it doesn't seem like Hunter's going to be playing in this event. So Hunter's just going to be a dedicated TD. I have seen TDs play in their own events in the past if they had a little bit of help, but in this case scenario, we're not going to see Hunter play, it doesn't seem. And I'm excited to see, Paul's going to win this. We already know that. No one else really stands a chance. But the battle for second, I think Brody's going to come out and take second place. In my last video about Brody, I had suggested that he start using like a Zuka cart with an umbrella attached to it or something so he can sit down and be in the shade while he plays. And then literally the very next day after I uploaded my video, I saw Brody post on Instagram walking around with an umbrella for shade and saying that he didn't mention me specifically. I'm sure other people came up with the same idea as well because it was just a logical solution to the problems he was having. So I'm excited to see what Brody's able to do, and I'm pretty confident he's going to be able to get through this B tier no problem. So looking forward to seeing this. Looking forward to seeing Paul just smash everybody, and then I'm really more interested in Brody coming out and taking second place. So that's my predictions for that. It's a bit smaller field, and the field's a lot less daunting than your typical MPO field. So the next thing that I want to talk about here is going to be the new Prodigy lineup. So Prodigy's ace line has been slowly growing over the last year and a half to 2 years at this point, and they're just had a bunch of new discs approved. So the P model US, which would be the putter model understable, mid-range model understable, fairway driver model understable, fairway model overstable, plus, I don't know what the plus is, might be a bead or it might be some more other design difference. Then just the normal F model OS. So I'm assuming the OS probably has a bead on it or something, or a flat top, and it's probably more overstable. And then the D model US plus plus, I have no idea what a plus plus could be, but it's going to be driver model understable, and they also have the driver model understable plus. So I think it was very urgent for Prodigy to come out with some new discs in their lineup, because when you look at people who actually throw Prodigy, everyone knows that stock run Prodigy is like very inconsistent, and the runs that people want are all these like really old runs of things. So people are always seeking out like proto discs, first run discs, because they seem to be like the best ones, and then like old discontinued plastics. Like I know the D1 that every Prodigy thrower wants is a 400S. So they came out with the 400, the 400S, then they did away with it, and then they had 400, and then they had 400G. So like these old school 400S D1s sell for a pretty penny, and any old Prodigy sells for a pretty penny as well. So I'm looking forward to, you can just see like these are all like protos and first runs, and people bid like a lot of money for them. So this guy's paying $200 for these discs, which is a good deal, but like if you want to get like good consistent Prodigy runs that you know exactly what they're going to be like then you have to seek out these like weird, unusual proto or first run ones. Like it's not just for style points. It's like these are the good ones, is these very specific runs. And they keep coming out with, they need to come out with something that's as stable as the X1. So the X1 is a super low profile, wide rim, usually puddle top, overstable distance driver. That is a must have in every Prodigy player's bag, because up until, there we go. So up until recently, Prodigy didn't have a reliable, overstable utility disc. Like Innova has the Firebird and Discraft has the Raptor, and all the companies have that beefy, super overstable disc. Prodigy had that back in the day, but then like they just stopped making them. They came out with another run recently, but they're just still far too scarce and unacceptable, and I think that discourages people from throwing Prodigy because they know they can't get their hands on a lot of the good runs. So it's good to see Prodigy approving more discs so they can hopefully fill in those gaps and make replacement discs for the ones that they used to make in the past but then don't make anymore. And I think they should bring back the 400S plastic, because that run was super good, and the D1s were super overstable, which people who throw a D1, that's what you want. Like you want a super beefy D1. All right, guys, so the last thing that I want to talk about is my predictions as to who I think is going to win the Discraft Great Lakes Open. So the Great Lakes Open is going to be the next Pro Tour event that's going to happen. Paul's won this thing a bunch of times, so my favorite to win this event is going to be Paul Macbeth. But we have a massive field. Everybody's going to be here, but we know there's probably only about 10 players who have even a chance at winning, and my top 3 picks is going to be Simon, Eagle, and Paul Macbeth. So those are the guys that we're going to want to see up at the top of the leaderboards. And then obviously Calvin Heimberg's been on fire as well. So Calvin can win any tournament he wants. So as long as Calvin shows up and his back's not injured, he can come out and he can tear up any course. So I'm looking forward to seeing who comes out on top in this event. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. This is Iceberg TV. Thank you for watching, and take care.